We got a story here that we need to cover. And this is a story that has flown under the radar, actually, of the mainstream media. Not by chance, but by design. And the title of this article from Naboja Malik from RT says, Manufacturing Kamala, Biden-Harris administration, verbiage is another step closer to the president the U.S. media wanted all along. And we've done a lot of videos talking about not if, but when Kamala Harris will take over for Joe Biden. And this is a really interesting story because this talks about how the White House has decided to use Biden-Harris administration in all their documents, websites, social media accounts, just about everything official coming out of the White House has the verbiage, has the words Biden-Harris administration. And this is really odd because every other president in the past hasn't deferred to the vice president. They've always said the Trump administration. It wasn't the Trump-Pence administration in the letterhead. Say the letterhead of the Oval Office. Did it say the Trump-Pence administration or the Bush-Cheney administration or the Obama-Biden administration? It was always, the Trump administration, the Obama administration, so on and so forth. If Kamala Harris was going to send something, it would probably say the office of the vice president, Kamala Harris, or something like that. The Harris vice presidency administration, whatever they use for their letterhead or their official documents. The office of the vice president, Kamala Harris. The office of the vice president, Mike Pence, or the office of the vice president, Dick Cheney. Say, this is the first time that we're actually seeing anything coming out of the Biden administration having Harris in the official documentation. And this is by design. They are preparing everybody, even down to the letterhead that they use for Harris to take over. And so they're slow walking us there. They're slow walking us. It's Biden-Harris administration, folks. It's not the Biden administration. It's the Biden-Harris administration. Of course, this all goes back to the point that we've all made. Everyone watching this video, we've made on the Duran, our main channel, over and over again. And that is the point that they wanted Harris all along. Harris was going to be the chosen one. Some people say she's part of the Clinton camp. Some people say she's part of the Obama camp. I tend to think that she's been placed by Obama. I think she's part of the Obama machine rather than the Clinton machine. But saying that, I'm sure she defers to both of them. And she's definitely part of the neoliberal warmonger machine. That's for damn sure. But I think she was placed by Obama, and she was going to be kind of the female Obama, right? She was the chosen one. But she was so unlikable in the Democrat election, the primary. She didn't even get to the primaries. So in the pre-primaries, in the run-up to the primaries, she was such an unlikable candidate that she couldn't even get to the primaries. That's how unlikable she was. And of course, let's all not forget, during the Democrat presidential debates, let's not forget that Tulsi Gabbard destroyed her. One comment from Tulsi Gabbard during those televised debates, and that was it for Kamala Harris. She was done. But the media wanted her. Obama's wanted her. Maybe the Clintons wanted her. The woke, neoliberal, social justice left wanted her. She was going to be the chosen one. And I think they found a way to shoehorn her into the office of the presidency, and that was on the back of Joe Biden. That, to me, seems like that was the plan all along. They wanted Harris. She was going to get into the Oval Office, get into the White House, no matter what. At all costs, they had to get her in. And so they found another way to get her in there, and that was using the Trojan Horse of Sleepy Joe. I guess he was that Trojan horse, that big wooden horse that knocked on the gates. And inside of that big wooden horse is Kamala. Once he gets into the city walls, Kamala pops out of the horse and says, "I'm here." So that's kind of the plan, drawing back from ancient Greek history and mythology. So let's get into this article because it's a good find from Malik here. A really good find, and he makes some good points. He says that traditionally U.S. governments are referred to by name of the current president. the Trump administration, the Obama administration, etc. But in a break from tradition, the current occupants of the White House have chosen to use Biden-Harris administration on all their official documents, websites, social media accounts, and the like. Very, very interesting that they're doing that. So he says, how many people know who was Woodrow Wilson's president? The only reason anyone remembers Harry Truman, Lyndon Johnson, or Gerald Ford is that they stepped up when their presidents died or resigned. That is true, but for some reason, we all are being constantly reminded that Harris is the vice president, constantly, even down to the letterhead. So in this article, it says that there was a time when Kamala Harris was considered the front runner and a top-tier candidate, right? Fawned over by the political press. Then came the fateful July 2019 presidential debate and a wrecking ball named Tulsi Gabbard. Now, the Democrats went after Gabbard with a vengeance. Harris never recovered. She dropped out in December, saying that the campaign funds had dried up and blaming Democrat voters for being, you guessed it, racist, sexist, misogynist, blah, blah, blah. Whenever something goes wrong, just blame it on racism, sexism, and misogyny. So in a final bit of irony, this is actually a good find, I like this. In a final bit of irony, Gabbard went on to receive 2 pledged delegates in the Democrat primaries. Harris got 0. So Gabbard got 2, Harris got 0. Harris is the vice president, soon to be the president. How about that? Meanwhile, Biden went from an abysmal showing in the early states to every other candidate lining up behind him with frightful speed by April. Remember that? I think Biden was number 5 in New Hampshire, in 5th place in New Hampshire. Iowa as well. I think he was in 3rd place. I don't know, guys, remind me. I know he was in 5th place in one of those states, one of those primaries. I believe it was New Hampshire. Either New Hampshire or Iowa. I don't know, but historically, no one's ever been in 5th place in one of those 2 states and actually has won the candidacy. So that's a historical anomaly. And then the minute that Biden was ahead, every other candidate folded. Literally, within the same day. Buttigieg, Warren, all of them. They all just gave up within the same day. How does that happen? We all know how that happens. They didn't give up. They were ordered to give up because the Trojan horse known as Joe Biden was being built, was being put together, was being assembled, and Harris was being prepared to take her place inside that Trojan horse and enter into the White House. That was the plan. He picked Harris as his running mate, literally on the grounds of her gender and skin color. In August, interestingly, Politico had that scoop 10 days prior. So that's an interesting point, that Politico actually knew that Harris was going to be the running mate 10 days beforehand. It was all being prepared. They figured that if we can't get Harris in via primaries and via voting, we'll get her into the White House by other means, and in comes Joe Biden. Remember, one of the reasons I think that Harris is Obama's person, she's part of the Obama side of the power structure of the Democrats, is because it was Obama that at first questioned Joe Biden as to why he was running, and then when Harris, was just pummeled by Gabbard during the debates, Obama suddenly ended up supporting Biden. And it was Biden that won in South Carolina. I believe he got Obama to contact I don't know if it was the senator or the governor or someone in South Carolina, a popular Democrat in South Carolina, to throw his weight behind Biden. And then Biden swept to victory in South Carolina, and the rest is history. So Obama at first didn't want Biden when Kamala still had a chance, or thought she had a chance. So Obama was behind Kamala. Obama asked Biden, why are you doing this? Biden was probably like, I don't know, Barack, I just want to run. I don't know what the hell Biden told Obama. But then when Harris was knocked out by Gabbard, then Obama threw his weight behind Biden. And he threw his weight behind Biden because they probably concocted the plan that, okay, Barack, throw your weight behind Biden. Let's get Biden over the finish line. We'll tell everyone else to resign to Biden and to fall in line, which is exactly what happened. And then we'll shoehorn Kamala into the presidency via Biden. That's why I think that Kamala is most likely on the Obama side of things as far as the power structure goes in the Democrat Party. What else does this this article say? This article says that it makes a note that Biden thinks Jim Crow has something to do with birds. Yeah, he kind of pokes fun at the fact that Biden is even president, which I think is absolutely fair because we're all still 3 months after the fact. I think we're all still kind of scratching our heads with what's going on in the White House. It's still a little just surreal, to say the least. So his appointment of Harris to sort out the mess at the southern border, at the southern U.S. border, may seem like a disservice at first. After all, it's an intractable problem because it was directly caused by his U-turn on immigration, about which he remains unapologetic. On the other hand, he made sure to tell reporters it was the task Obama had given him back in the day, as if to imply it was part of grooming him for the top job. This is a really interesting point in the article. The article is saying that it's not so much about Harris being appointed to run things at the southern U.S. border. That's not the point. The point is the narrative. The point is the messaging. And it is true. Biden is making a point of it. I mean, he's going out of his way. The entire mainstream media is going out of its way. The Democrats are going out of their way to make sure that everyone understands that Harris going to the border is not about her solving the problem. It has nothing to do with that. What it has to do with is that back in the day, Barack Obama appointed Biden to do similar tasks. Exactly. Actually, I think the same exact task, from what I understand here. On the other hand, he made sure to tell reporters, Biden made sure to tell reporters, it was the task Obama had given him back in the day. Exactly. That is the point. The point is not whether Kamala Harris is able to solve the problem. She's not. That she's been appointed to solve the problem. No one cares. That has nothing to do with any of it. That she's going to go down there and try to sort things out. That has nothing to do with any of this. Kamala being given that task is to try to create that connection of being groomed for the job of presidency, much the same way that Barack Obama groomed Joe Biden. And now Joe Biden is grooming Kamala Harris. It's the narrative. It's the framing of all of this. That's why she's been given this task. Once again, we're being prepared. We're being prepared for a Kamala White House in much the same way that Kamala has been speaking with world leaders. It's not about Kamala being able to speak with world leaders and talk about foreign policy, to discuss things with Trudeau or with Macron or Netanyahu or any of this stuff. It has nothing to do with it. We all know that Kamala has no idea about foreign policy or how to deal with these leaders. It's about the media saying that Harris has been speaking to these world leaders. It's all about the narrative. It's all about the framing. It's all about making her look like she is presidential, because in due time, probably sooner rather than later, she will be president. So they have to make her presidential. And they're going to put her to go down to the southern border, and they're going to say Kamala Harris is now doing what Biden was doing back in the day during the Obama administration. Everybody get used to Kamala Harris taking charge. Get used to Kamala Harris handling things. That's what we want. That's what they want us to get used to. So finally, in this article, it says, when you add all of that up, the real question is not why the Biden-Harris, the Biden-Harris administration verbiage is already in place, but how soon will it be replaced by Harris alone? Exactly. Pretty soon, they're just going to just take the Biden and just erase it out, wipe it out, and they'll just have Harris administration. That's the point of all of this. That is the point of everything. So I thought this was an interesting article, and it once again proves the point that we've all been making in this community, in the Duran community, which is that sooner rather than later, Harris will be in office, and they're doing a lot of tricks. They're playing a lot of tricks to get the American public and the world used to a Harris presidency. They're slow walking us there, whether it has to do with letterheads, documents, and the verbiage that's used on the official documentation, Biden-Harris, or whether it's getting Harris to speak to world leaders, or whether it's getting Harris to go down to the southern border, not to solve the problem of the southern border, but to give everyone the impression that she is next in line to be president, that she's being presidential, that she will inherit what Biden inherited from Obama. Harris is going to inherit for Biden. Of course, Harris is not going to inherit that via a presidential election win. Nuh-uh. Harris is going to inherit that because Biden, sooner or later, is just going to say, I'm stepping down. I'm out. That's going to be the result of all of this. That's how they're going to work this. Remember, everybody, Biden is that Trojan horse. He is that big wooden horse that is at the gates of Troy. And inside that wooden horse is Kamala Harris. That horse has actually entered the walls of the city. And now we're just waiting for that door to open up and for Harris to pop out and say, here I am, America. President Kamala Harris. All right, guys, that's the video. Go to the Duran shop, pick up some merch, pick up a magic mug. The best mugs in the world, great for drinking coffee. And yeah, they improve your geopolitical IQ by thousands and thousands of points. And Kamala Harris is going to probably need a lot of magic mugs, Duran magic mugs, if she's going to deal with foreign policy with some of the heavy hitters in the world today. We're going to need to send her a box of Duran magic mugs. That's the video, guys. Take care.